It may be a fresh future for Melbourne Victory, but there's also a blast from the past. Tonight, Kevin Muscat takes his bow as the new head coach of the home team, and as fate would have it, he'll find none other than Ernie Merrick on the opposition bench. For 6 seasons, these two helped create the Victory juggernaut. Now they're in competition as the master and the apprentice go head-to-head. Yes, welcome to Monday Night Football. It's Cup Eve here in Victoria for the Victory. It's about building on a promising start to the season. For Wellington Phoenix, it's about making history and winning in Melbourne for the very first time. Well, while Kevin Muscat reckons tonight is not about the coaches, it is a storyline that's hard to ignore. It was Merrick who gave Muscat his senior debut as a 16-year-old at Sunshine George Cross. It was Merrick who made him foundation captain of the Victory, and it was Merrick who was his coach for 117 of his 122 appearances for the club. As for Merrick, this is the first time he's been back at this ground since he was sacked 2.5 years ago. His biggest regret, he never got the chance to say goodbye. It's clearing up and warming up in Melbourne after some cold weather went through the Victorian capital yesterday. Currently 16 degrees. The roof open here at Etihad Stadium as the fans witness the full-time coaching debut of Kevin Muscat. He did have one previous match in charge as a caretaker last season. He won that game against the Newcastle Jets. At the other end of the spectrum, Ernie Merrick, the most experienced coach in the Hyundai A-League tonight. His 155th appearance, the first time he is coaching against his former club. The referee this evening, Matthew Gillette, his 25th match in charge. That's the Phoenix in their yellow and black stripes against the Victory in their dark blue. The pitch in wonderful condition. An exciting match in store. Traore. Troisi back to Milligan. And actually top to the state onside and scores! A huge weight off his shoulders. Archie Thompson, his first goal of the season. And he is absolutely ecstatic.
Well, I think this takes a slight deflection. I think Archie Thompson was surprised he found himself so free inside the penalty box. It's a huge relief for him. But as the ball was played through, and that's what Milligan's been doing well for so long now, is he's always looking forward. The ball to Traore, he'll come back inside. Yeah, the little one to Milligan, looks forward. He's looking forward, he's trying to find Traore. It comes in, there's the deflection. That's actually going wide. And that comes off Durante. Archie Thompson won't care. They're asking for a handball. Kevin Muscat knows how important that one is. First goal as the boss.
I mean, there's been so much talk about the Adelaide United revolution, if you like, under Joseph Gombau, but very little comment on what Ernie Merrick's trying to do with Wellington Phoenix. Change their style of play, get more pace and mobility into the team. We're at the early stages of that process as well. There have been some encouraging signs.
Well, certainly in this opening period, 21 minutes.
Mistake by Durante, chance here for the Victory to make it 2, and they do! James Troisi couldn't resist the invitation. Andrew Durante distraught.
Well, it's a gift, but it's brilliantly taken by Troisi. There's one thing to be offered the gift, there's another thing to take it. And he took it. Brilliant feat. He shaped ahead of it with his left, shifted his body weight, and fooled Glenn Moss and hit it with his right. That's a very uncharacteristic mistake from Andrew Durante. It's a simple one to deal with. Tries to hit it back, doesn't get any power. Troisi does well. See how he shifts his body weight? Shaped hit it with the left, shifted it to the right. That's a really good finish. And what I like about this goal is Troisi anticipates that. A lot of players don't go for that ball that mostly you're never going to get. He gambled, and it paid off for him.
Here's Riera. Heisingham's. Robbie just reminded me, Stormbrew also in that squad, so The Mariners have drawn the short straw. As the Victory go forward again, he's got too much speed and power. James Troisi, what a finish! Pure class! Kevin Muscat knows good football when he sees it, and he's got an absolute flash of genius there from James Troisi.
Well, talk about players putting themselves in the spotlight for the Socceroos. Well, this guy's got to be a big chance when the squad comes out on Wednesday. High line again, they get done over. Brilliant first touch, takes him in front of Durante, who can't touch him. It would have been a red. What about that for a finish? That is absolutely brilliant from Troisi. Great composure. Look how he gets his body in front of Durante. Take a bow, son. He's just scooped that over Moss, who didn't even go to ground. That is brilliance. Individual brilliance.
Struggled to get a game for Atalanta in Serie A last season. He's come home, James Troisi, to reignite his career in the Hyundai A-League, and he is making every post a winner. It was a long career, 533 games. There were 123 yellow cards among those games, 12 reds, and dramas in England with Matthew Holmes. He had to go to a court to settle a case against him. He, of course, produced that tackle against Adrian Zara, so he knows that those sort of things will follow him, at least in the early stages of his coaching career. But Robbie, what are you expecting from Kevin Muscat as a coach?
Well, he's a very different man from his playing days, there's no doubt about that. And he has to be.
Here come the Phoenix, it's Brocky in behind. Brocky needs to score, and does! Well, he is the lucky charm for Wellington Phoenix when they play the Melbourne Victory, and he may just have given them a lifeline.
Well, Brocky just gambled and stayed on his own. Gary was forward, and he just found himself. Gary was forward and tucked way too far in. Look at the space he had. Still had a lot to do. Hit it low and hard. Got a touch to it. Nathan Coburn couldn't stop it. That's a really good finish from Jeremy Brocky. In fact, it goes through the legs. Put his head down, put his boot through it, plenty of power on it, and that puts Wellington, well, it gives them, like you said, a bit of hope.
Well, he telegraphed the pass, Finkler, and now Wellington can break. Brocky. Muscat. Hernandez squares it up. Brocky with the shot. He's hit his own teammate. Straight into Manny Muscat. But they have it back, Wellington. Here's Eiffel. Still going, Paul Eiffel. Still going! Paul Eiffel has scored for the Phoenix. And it's game on here at Etihad.
Well, the counter-attack was superb from Wellington. And what about this for an individual goal? That's brilliant from Paul Eiffel. There he picks up the ball at Adama Traore out of position. Look at that, just goes past Milligan, comes back onto his right foot, and that's a toe poke. Because he doesn't have time for any back lift at all, because he's getting closed down. That's great improvisation, just toe pokes it, and it goes right through the legs. There's too much pace on it for Nathan Coe.
Look at the watch from Matthew Gillette. Muscat with the up and under. Here's Hernandez. In it comes. Away by Broxham. And there is the full-time whistle. Well, relief, the overwhelming emotion for Kevin Muscat and Melbourne Victory, who looked to be cruising in that first half. 3-0 up they were against the Wellington Phoenix, but the Phoenix have come home with a wet sail. A wonderful second half performance from the visiting team. Goals from Brocky and Eiffel made it for an anxious finale, but Kevin Muscat, in his first game as head coach of Melbourne Victory, has got the 3 points up against his mentor, Ernie Merrick. Full time here at Etihad Stadium. It's Melbourne Victory 3, Wellington Phoenix 2.